So instead of looking in, going, look at all the bad stuff I've done, I can never be forgiven, I need you to understand that if in fact you're right with God, and you look at your life and say, I cannot be forgiven, you are denying the sacrifice of Christ in your life. You're saying what Christ did isn't enough. And I want you to think about how different that feels. See, instead of going, look how bad I've been, there's no way, I feel such shame. Yeah, the reality is to be able to say, well, wait a minute. God made it clear that what Christ did on the cross not only could deal with anything that has happened in our life, but did deal with anything that has happened in our life. God has said that's the only way to do that. And for me to refuse to release the shame, release the guilt, is to negate what Jesus did on the cross and say it wasn't enough. Now, guys, that alone ought to make you go, whoa, that's not cool. I'm not going to do that. And so every time, I've told you before, every time Satan reminds you of your past, remind him of his future, burn, baby, burn. All right? So there's that. I was like, dude, you really. But that's what Satan's trying to do. He's trying to destroy you as though whatever you've done has been unacceptable. Think about this. Remember the Apostle Paul, he wrote half the New Testament back when he was Saul. And he actually talks about he is the worst of sinners. He calls himself the worst of sinners. You know why? Because he murdered Stephen. He calls himself a murderer for what he did, a great, godly Christian man that was just standing for God. He was the one responsible for what happened to Stephen in Acts chapter 7. He lived with that his whole life, and yet he pointed out that not only did Jesus cover that sin in his life, but actually went on from that and made him an apostle of Jesus Christ. So that's the point. We focus on the sacrifice that enables us to be free instead of where Satan wants us to focus on, you dirty, rotten, scummy sinner. That's where Satan wants you to be. Don't let him keep you in your past. Don't let him go there. So you should, get this, release the shame because you owe it to Christ. That's the key. Because of what Christ did on the cross, I will not disrespect Christ. I will not dishonor him by feeling shame and guilt for something he died to wipe out. That's the key. And guys, that is the beauty of getting right with God. It's all gone. All right, if anyone is in Christ, he is a 2 Corinthians 5. Well, it's in 2 Corinthians 5. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things have passed away. Behold, new things have come. Gone. Done. Right? So, yeah, don't let Satan mess with you like that.